Oh, weird, because I was unmuted on my end. Anyways, yes, I now bring you Lightmatter by Infrabread.
Good morning, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. How are you all doing today? My name is Infrabread, and welcome to Lightmatter. This is a game set in an underground scientific facility, with a narrator constantly guiding us through who hates us and is very open about it. You may have heard of this game before. So, the main way I can describe this game is the floor is lava. The title screen actually shows it off very clearly. We have black shadowy area. That's not good. We have a lamp on a stick making light. Stand in the light. Don't stand in the shadow. That's really as simple as it gets. Before the run, I do want to go to the extras menu. There is a speedrun stats. This whole thing. That is required to have open to have your run submitted to SRC. And also quite nice for the runner itself. We have a level time and a total time, and everything else you don't really care about. So, I can explain everything once the time actually starts, and time starts once I select number 1. So, are we good? So,
Yeah,
are we good on time?
Yeah, we're good on time.
I can start in 3, 2, 1, go. Now, Lightmatter, or the whole company that invented Lightmatter, has got a big celebration party, which has gone really bad, as you can see here. So the first level, or the first 2 or 3 levels are just story-based, so I can explain what's actually going on. There we go. Now, the movement in this game is very simple. It is just holding W, and what I did there was actually the first speed tech of the game. Stairs are a bit weird in this game. If I walk up them, I walk slower than I would when walking forward right now. So I'm going to jump as soon as I stand on stairs to go very, very slightly faster. And when I'm going downstairs, I'm going to try to land on the railings. Because I'm not supposed to stand on the railings, the game is going to shove me off. Again, a very, very slightly faster. Now it's introducing climbing, which is not really used all that much in the game, but it's just another movement mechanic. And that is level 1 done. Transitioning into level 2, and we are now transitioned into level 2. That is basically the gimmick of this game, is there are no loading screens. So this is effectively a single segment game. And that, as I mentioned previously, is underrated through the entire game. Let's just ignore him. He's called Virgil, by the way. Let's just ignore him and go gaming.
Don't panic. Now, your inability to follow
Yeah, the first 3 levels, I should say, just story-based, so fairly easy.
First off, walk through that door.
Thank you. There we go.
Excellent. You have already exceeded my expectations. Wait, it's dark in there. You might trip. Let me light your path.
And now we're getting an in-universe explanation for the shadows itself.
To my security manager's office.
Jump up stairs, get shoved off, saving about 1/10 of a second every time I do that. It's small, but you might as well.
Now I presume you know how buttons work. Impressive. If you continue like this, I might just hire you to mop the floor. Now scurry along, and you will reach the elevator to the exit.
Oops, there we go.
It's simple.
There we go.
I know
It's annoying.
difficult not to stare at the
Yeah, movement is actually...
wonder that is Lightmatter.
Movement
The launch
can
event
be
is over.
very optimized in this game because it's just holding W and moving your mouse. Once I actually get to the lamps on a stick, then I can go... then I can just do more fancy stuff. Now we are in a lift, or elevator if you are incorrect, all the way to the surface, and that's the game finished. We appear to be quite a bit ahead of time. That's quite nice.
But stand strong and tell them that Virgil, the CEO,
There's absolutely nothing that can go wrong. Ignore even with that big flashy thing that's in front of us. Everything is perfect. Just a moment, and we're going to complete the game. Wait, no. What has gone wrong? Oh no, I have bamboozled you. Something has gone wrong. Title card. Or should be. I keep forgetting how long this takes. I keep forgetting how long that cutscene takes. Anyway. Now we actually have gameplay involving shadows. It's the first level where you can die. It's very annoying because it's just after a cutscene. Oopsie. There we go.
Can you hear me?
The stuff has gone very bad, and we're going to...
The shadows are dangerous.
There we go.
Stay away from the shadows.
Here's the first part of the game where you could die. If you don't know where to stop it, you could just walk into that thing. This is actually one of the earliest speed checks in the game. That light is on a cycle, you can get the first cycle. I'm not consistent enough in that to do it in a marathon, but I have done it before in my own streams. I believe this is the first puzzle. Starting off fairly easy, obviously, starting off without the lamps.
It's working. So,
Press a button to move the platform.
An option. Neither for you nor for
And again, I'm jumping up these stairs to save literal frames.
But don't worry, you will reach the exit of this facility and they will reach the end of their employment. An escape plan is in development.
For the most part, this game, or this run, is the intended solutions but fast. So, well, because it's no major glitches, obviously. I would genuinely recommend getting this game if you want to play it casually. It's really fun. I believe it took me about 5 hours to complete my first time, so not all too long.
Functioning exit is at
Click
the top.
the button, thank you.
Follow the green exit signs and you'll get there. Just do exactly as I say and you will be fine. If you want to complain about that, well, I can't. Ah, excellent. Do you see that lamp?
And yeah, quite often we just interrupt Virgil, because the dialogue triggers are dependent on the level transitions.
Handy, isn't it?
That is a light.
Called it heavy and clunky.
That is the first time you have a light in the game. And the lights themselves are a bit unusual. You move slower when holding a lamp, so I'm going to try to exclusively hold W when holding a lamp instead of strafing. It's personal preference. You can also not jump when holding a light. That would make some of these maps almost trivial. And what it just did there is the lamp instantly snaps to where you're looking. Which is actually useful in a few other maps later on. A slight quality of life thing, that's not going to work. Just a slight quality of life thing this game has is you can actually stand in the shadows for a tiny corner. So it's not like you touch one pixel and you're dead. Again, we're going to abuse that mechanic in later parts of the run.
The side effects of those same crystals cost me my leg. Wrong. I conquered a mountain for the first photon crystal. Sheer persistence.
So the slight lag spikes you're going to see occasionally is the level transition. It's not my PC being made out of a potato.
You missed your tour. That giant beam of light you see is Lightmatter. The source of that beam we call the core, a collection of massive photon crystals.
The beginning of this game is really just kind of boring, because it's the intended solutions, and even the intended solutions are fairly easy once you actually know what to do. The only speed tech really is knowing where to go and knowing the limits of where you can stand in the shadows.
And renewable energy source that will save humanity. Yes, the launch today
There we go.
failed. But these shadows will
That is because you walk slower with a lamp, you want to walk with a lamp as little as possible. And of course having fast and accurate placements with the mouse. Actually, I have the use button buried to a click, because I use it that much, obviously. And I can actually spam click with both left and right mouse buttons at the same time.
Where were you?
Again, that's just
during
personal
the launch
preference.
event? All guests were taken directly to the tram, so you must have snuck away somehow. What exactly would... So, Health and Safety Inspector, let me do your job for you.
This big moving thingy, yeah, this giant piece of metal, that is on a cycle. You can technically make that cycle on the other side, but then you need to wait for it to open again to actually shine the light through this path. So it is possible, but just useless. A fun thing. 10 is where we get introduced to moving platforms. Moving platforms obvious, however you can also press this button again at any point during the platform cycle and the platform will reverse direction. Again, that's useless in the puzzle solving, but you can do it. I would actually like to pay attention to the dialogue just after I finish this level. There's a nice surprise.
Be careful with my lamps. At Lightmatter Technologies, we treat our inanimate objects with respect, not like those monsters of Aperture Science.
That's right, Aperture Science was mentioned by name, and there's actually a Portal Easter egg in this game. This is the second, but this is the only non-Valve game that is using Portal assets, and is officially on Steam. I cannot, during the development commentary, which I would recommend listening to, the developers actually sent an email to Gabe Newell himself to specifically ask if for permission, and he said yes, which I think is just neat. Now we have a cutscene of about a minute, so if you have anything to say, do that now, and I can drink.
We don't have any new donations, but I just want to say thank you to the staff and all the runners. And remember to donate towards our incentives, which we happen to have one coming up soon for a few things, but most notably Sticky Business, choosing which pride flag we have, as well as SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, true any %.
Inspector, the door is open. Run along now.
And I'm going to wiggle here for a reason. These platforms are moving on a cycle, and this shadow is just a tiny bit too large to clear from a standing start. So the platform needs to move backwards and I need to move forwards. So wiggling slows me down by just the perfect amount. And because this is a cycle-based map, I don't really need to move all that fast. As long as I can get this platform, then I'm all good. As long as I'm consistent with it, I'm fine.
James wants to know that he's safe.
Hey, there's a cat in this game, which I could very easily show off if we have a few minutes. Actually, chat, do you want to see a cat? Ah, forgot. Oh, I should get that. I was distracted by cats. I still got the cycle. Right. I was distracted by cats.
I know I want to see a cat.
I have a limited amount of
Alright.
patience.
That is, if you look at the top right, you can see the level counter in brackets. The cat is shown in level 17 and 24. I was distracted by Kitty and nearly missed the cycle.
I would hate my life if I were you. Now, you'll survive as long as you stick to the green exit signs. Good luck.
There is actually an achievement in the game for petting the cat, which all games should have, like legally. Steam should have a rule in their code of conduct. Cats. Licky, there we go. And now we get introduced to a third character, Emily, in this audio log.
My name is Ellen.
Wait, I'm an idiot. Never mind. Okay, so ignore what the runner just said.
First off, I am really
there is some not good things going on behind the scenes in this science facility. Who could have possibly seen that coming?
People are getting sick left and right.
Those buttons are really annoying because I need to spam click in order to actually get them as quick as possible. A bit annoying.
Communication is prohibited.
Look.
Not only that, leave permits are invalid.
And there. This is another, like what I said earlier, this is another time where I know the limits of what I can stand in. But that tiny thing, I could stand in technically because it was still moving forward. And yes, I'm easily so fast I can get to the second audio log before I finish the first.
Suddenly, I felt something on my head. open my eyes, and Arthur is standing over me, in the dark, holding a vial. Before I could do or say anything, he
There's a lot of counting in this part of the game, because I need to make sure I get the right cycles.
How exactly is pouring liquids into my hair for the better?
Look. And here we're going to use the, or I guess abuse the fact that I can stand in a tiny bit of shadow. Because I can do these lamps in the reverse order, technically. I can first place one sideways, and then grab one. The path forward is now illuminated. I'm supposed to use one lamp to illuminate the other lamp, so I can stand on it properly. But I can also just not do that. I need to place you there.
Stop Arthur. Nobody believes a man of that status would poison people like that.
So that is
And
very good. That is very
my
nice.
hair at the age of 31 isn't proof enough. I need to
Yeah,
do more
Lightmatter makes you go bald. Is a thing. Look.
How did you get all the way over there? Well, impressive. You realize how much
there
of
we
a
go.
waste of time you are, and took a shortcut. You're much closer to the elevator, so well done, Inspector. Now, you're not supposed to be in that part of the facility, but never mind. You will be taking what you see here to your grave. Don't worry.
16 is possibly one of my favorite levels in the game because it gets to show off two game mechanics at once. First, it's standing in a teeny tiny bit of shadow and still being able to get through. Second is the lamps instantly snapping in the direction you're looking at.
So let me tell you a bit
So,
about my technology.
I can do
The
that.
panels that you've lit up to power machinery.
I can
those
instantly
are
snap
photon
the
power
lamp to
cells.
where I'm looking, and then during the door closing animation, I have just enough time to get through. It's a little kitty, that's a little kitty, it's a little kitty, that's a cat.
I increase the voltage.
There's also some dialogue for a pet and a kitty.
You see, by retrofitting doors,
Yep.
lifts, etc., with photon power cells. Those power cells function as both energy converters and switches. Clever, but you'll realize their true purpose once.
Actually, that is a bit of speed tech, because I can illuminate both this path I need to stand on and the exits with the same lamp in one go. It's a tiny bit of speed tech there, which does make it actually really easy.
I've ever met. A low bar, sure, but a bar nonetheless. Oh, hold on.
And this is another actually these two levels in a row are a really good showcase of the like leniency of the shadows. So I don't actually need to illuminate my path. I can use one lamp to just do some parkour effectively over some random
My security
decor.
manager, James,
A bit
just got a hold of
there.
our government contacts.
Autosave trigger.
They told him
Hopefully I can
we
get this
were
first
not
try.
scheduled for an inspection today. And
Nice.
since you are not
First
on
try.
the guest list,
Yeah,
James
because
doesn't know who
because
you
there's no
are.
loading screens and because I cannot manually save, I need to memorize where the autosave
You're
triggers
a
are.
journalist. It fits.
So for only
You're
these two
coming
maps I do a
always
safety
to
save.
such extremes for your stories. I would
There we
like
go.
to remind you
And that's bad.
freedom of the press does not extend to trespassing.
And then save just
We'll have
here.
a talk once you get out.
Okay, might need to replace that lamp, actually. Need to replace this
Since
pretty
you're a
much as far to the left as possible.
you must be here
I'm using
to
those
investigate the
barrels
merits
or those
of
pipes as a visual lineup.
Yes, I read the papers.
On.
I like to keep myself misinformed. Do you know
Yeah.
what makes his lies so convincing? The small amount of truth
It's,
he uses.
honestly, the second one is the most difficult one. Like that first jump is honestly the most difficult one. The second one is reasonably
But I
consistent.
solved all of that with the mineral decontaminators.
Now, 20
What did Arthur
is
do?
far easier.
He poisoned our
Again, we're going to
employees.
abuse an intended mechanic.
Those side effects
You
he's
cannot
crusade
jump
to
while holding a
destroy.
lamp. So I'm going to place a lamp on the floor, jump on a desk, grab the lamp from atop. So it's going to teleport like a meter in the air.
Consuming. It consumed our partnership. It
Uh,
consumed our
there.
friendship, and it almost destroyed.
Get on this
entire
platform and skip like half of the puzzle. Ooh. 18 and 19, definitely the run killers, because they
So,
can be
journalist,
very difficult.
You will soon be out of here. But before you write a hit piece about the quote-unquote deadly
the
shadows
cat I saw just a few levels ago is called Lux. It's quite nice in a light-themed game.
anomalies are not spreading beyond the facility. They are local.
Here's a science fact. The intensity that a light bulb shine is measured in lumen. L-U-M-E-N. The more lumen a light has, the brighter it is. That's a useless fact, I know.
Engineers desperately strive to impress me. So during the launch event, one of them turned up the core's energy output. Understand? There we are.
And again, interrupting Virgil, because I'm just gaming that hard. 21 is basically just a very long... Well, 21 and 22 are basically just a very long cutscene. So again, if we have anything to read, you can do that now.
How does that sound? Just remember that non-disclosure agreement we discussed.
Kitty was cute. Just a reminder that we are raising money for the other type of pet, dogs, for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. I'm not entirely sure on this, but I think they do help cats as well, but their main focus is dogs by a significant margin. If you would like to help donate to Kapuppers, here's a link for that. And we have a variety of incentives. Namely, there's an upcoming incentive for Sticky Business Choose Pride Flag, which is a bid war between 5 different flags, so lots to choose from now.
Time together is sadly at an end. The elevator is just upstairs. Listen, I know that I mentioned lawyers earlier.
That section upstairs is really annoying. You just need to jump upstairs, and also moving as 180 at the same time.
Journalists,
Really annoying.
need to be held accountable. I'm no exception.
If I remember this correctly, this was one of the most difficult levels I played casually. So I do honestly recommend getting this game, because casually it's really fun. Need to press the button twice. I don't know how numbers work. Ignore me.
Well done, journalist. When you meet James, ask him to check the time and tell him that I won.
Now we have a second lift, or elevator, to the surface, and this one should definitely work. Absolutely nothing could possibly go wrong. Oh dear. I have Did You and Bamboozle. There's more game.
It's out of control! It's completely out of control!
Yeah, that is the third time that a piece of infrastructure has malfunctioned as for us existing. Not the last either.
I'll think of something. Start heading back. I'll tell you when to stop.
22 is actually quite a fun map, because now we're going to unsolve the puzzle we just did. Another audio log.
I just snuck into Arthur's office, and it's worse than I thought.
The story and the music in this game are both really good, but I'm talking over them right now.
Not just poisonings.
So again, if you want to actually hear if you just actually want to hear the music, play the game. It goes on sale reasonably often, so put it on your wish list and just wait for a Steam notification. Honestly, how I buy most games.
I am not going to let Arthur ruin our future. I have to get to Virgil.
Ta-ta.
Arthur's
Unsolving the test.
Whoever finds this,
Weirdly, it's equally as difficult as solving it.
that Arthur needs to be stopped.
Might be because I'm dense, but you be the judge of that.
All right now, pay close attention.
23 and... yeah, 23 is the introduction to the second half of the game. Yeah, 23 and 24 is effectively the halfway point.
But
Very roughly.
I have an idea.
Have about 2 minutes of a cutscene and dialogue and whatever,
Beneficial. You are going to
and
be
then
my
actual
assistant.
gameplay, so I can just have a sip of water.
You will be moving deeper into the facility through our research
Dehydrated.
department. Before I allow you in, I would like to make something abundantly clear. Be careful with what you touch.
Thanks for the reminder.
Also, posture check. I might as well.
Plan as I I work out the details.
That's what cutscenes are good for.
Not make me
Eating.
regret this. And remember to do exactly.
Luckily, I was already good on posture.
So.
This is the second half of the game and using
This is where we
photon
develop
crystals.
our photon connectors.
Not photon connectors, I'm an
Everything you
idiot.
see here is confidential,
They're
inexpensive,
actually a
and
really,
fragile.
the puzzles in this part of the game.
Or bridges.
I'm now going to activate the cat again. There is a 10% chance that pressing this button can show the cat. Completely random. And yes, that is Lux meowing, doing all of this. This is an Easter egg in the game. This is actually an achievement in the game as well. I think it's called Schrodinger's cat, although I can't quite remember. You do actually need to load into number 24 from number 23. To go directly from the main menu, this doesn't work. Come on. You'd think I get it eventually with 10% odds. I want to show off the kitty.
I'm just waiting with bated breath. Come on, kitty kitty.
You can hear the kitty. Honestly, there is a thing there. There it is. It's Lux. It's a kitty bed. It's a volley-on. It's Lux. There's kitty. Now back to the game. That took far too long. Let's do the actual gameplay.
Behold,
Okay.
a photon connector.
This is the photon connector, and this is what it does.
Ah,
There we go.
beam of light so magnificent.
Yes, there is a crystal in the center of the level, and it can connect to whatever we're holding right now, and the entire connection is filled with light. So in a straight line between these two, we can move.
Isn't it? The connectors suspend
Oh,
photon
nice.
crystals
Cycle
over
them.
electromagnets. And
Oh, okay, get the
as long as
cycle.
they're in line of
Heck.
sight to what I call a mother source,
So,
they create a powerful beam of
now I
light
can
matter.
explain a second thing, the
beam
color.
so powerful,
If the line of sight is about to break, the light will go red. This does not mean it's just a visual indicator. It doesn't actually do anything else. So if the light goes red, the line of sight is about to break. We're actually going to use that as a visual indicator for a few levels later on. So for the most part, you can just ignore the color. I say that, literally the very next level uses the color as an indicator. Again, I'm jumping upstairs to save like 2/10 of a second. In the intended solution of this puzzle, you're supposed to do these crystals in the reverse order. First do the left one and then the right. There we go. Yep.
Assistant,
But
I think a lot about the future.
we can place this lamp just at the very edge of where it's about to break, and then use the other lamp to form a triangle of light.
Have 100.2% conversion efficiency. I've reached 107%
There
with
we
the
go.
core. I achieved
Now
critical
I should
mass.
be fine.
And Arthur wanted to stop at
There
the
we go.
prototype.
Should be fine to do that.
He was so certain
Usually
that the laws
sometimes
of physics
I
were
can get the first try, sometimes I can't.
is where we
Anyway.
differed. Where he saw laws, I saw suggestions.
I can go ahead of that rail, or moving platform just slightly,
Excellent.
saving about 1
You have
second.
overcome an obstacle
It's very easy because you have the
and
wall
been
next to you.
baptized in the waters of Lightmatter. I can almost
Ta-da.
imagine the stench of journalist fading away.
Actually, because I died there, I usually don't hear that line of dialogue. Because I'm used to hearing specific lines of dialogue. Yes, that was a picture of Nikola Tesla. No, I'm not going to go back for it.
We see it. It leaves us in awe, doesn't it, Assistant? This is everything Lightmatter Technologies has built towards. Every power cell, every connector, all of them combine to create this.
Once again, this level uses actually both. It's first the line of sight of these lamps, and also the fact that I can stand in a teeny tiny bit of black, because I can switch from one lamp to another. Hopefully I should be able to stand on that railing for just a second. I should be able to do that. So just hug this railing and switch from one to another. So, there we go. Instead of having to go all the way around.
Let us ignore the quakes for now. Imagine, at the center of a city, a core, providing sustainable and renewable energy to millions. That is the future we are striving for.
1, 2... You can do this section while only having to place the lamp once, but I placed it twice just to get a more even line of sight, just for marathon safety, I suppose.
Down there was blocked. And since I'm limited by my body, but not my mind,
actually, quite a nice, I guess, palette cleanser with a quite an easy... should be that there-ish. It's quite an easy test. Speedrunning and character is both fairly easy.
Managing the shutdown. As my assistant, you'll be the one pulling the lever.
There we go.
When I told James of this plan, he seemed jealous.
Form a triangle with the beam. That is like the main gimmick you're going to see me do a lot. So I have two connectors connected both to the same source. And as you can see now, I can have connectors in series. Or I have like main source to a connector and then connector to a different one. Again, that's used in puzzles and in the speedrun, of course. So, once again, I do want to say the color of the beam doesn't really matter. You can ignore it for the most part.
Once the core is off, the quakes and shadow anomalies will subside, allowing you to...
Technically, the radius around the lamp that you can stand in does decrease very slightly once it goes red, but you're not going to notice.
Side effects permanently. The core will repower, and it will shine...
I can actually show off the portal Easter egg in this map. Personally, I do honestly think it's a really good one. Yeah. Bang. 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 I can now have the second connector as close to here as possible and jump there.
Want to hear a secret?
Ah, come on.
Aperture Science
that was still alive from Portal 1 playing about radio. Unfortunately, Virgil was talking through it. Annoying. It's a really good version if you actually stand there and listen to it.
I like cats.
I also like cats. First thing you've said this entire one that actually made sense.
Look at the plants.
Fairly easy speed run, but for the puzzle it was a bit annoying to figure out. For casually it was a bit annoying to figure out. It's a physically large chamber, so you can get lost occasionally.
Imagine applying this technology to cultivation throughout the world. Famine, mass deforestation, floods, all of these relegated to history. Lightmatter will not only brighten the world, it will give life.
There we go, place 2. This level involves effectively making a C shape with 2 lamps. Because, as I said before, you cannot jump while holding a lamp. We need to form a big, I guess, letter C, place 1 lamp here, and take this second lamp over to the other side to make our way to the exit. Blink. And that's done. Now, if I open the door again, the door itself will actually block that light, so we do need to go all the way around. Stand here and climb.
Assistant. By now you must understand the significance of light matter. So it's about time you learn how Arthur almost
I
destroyed
think,
it.
from what I can remember during my casual playthrough, level 30 and this section of the game were the most difficult puzzles. But in terms of the speedrun, it's really not that different to everything else we just did. There's actually levels earlier on which, in my opinion, are more difficult to speedrun. Which is something you notice in every single game between casual and speedrunning, what is considered difficult. Because they're just counting for the most part for that moving platform. 2, 3, 1. As I just said, I forgot to count. We're supposed to move that twice, not once. I am an idiot. Blang. 1. 2. Hey look, I actually solved the puzzle. I was talking during all of that. That just goes to show how much of the game is just muscle memory. Level 31 is a big cutscene. Hello, sword. I forgot to turn it off. Level 31 is a big cutscene. Once again, I believe for the final time, actually, if we have something to say, then you can do that now.
James, you have brawn, not brains. My new
Just a reminder of some of our incentives. We have an upcoming incentive for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom True Any %, which is one of the shortly coming runs. It's only 5 minutes away from, $5 away from reaching that incentive, which would be for a True Any % run. We also have Pick M-Chan's game coming up, where the runner M-Chan will either be running New Super Luigi U or New Super Mario Bros. 2. It's currently $10 in Luigi U's favor, so close race. We can make that. We can have some competition there.
At least you still have your legs. Let's see.
That is the 4th time breathing on it, seemingly. The final time as well. Also, this one transition bit, we're walking slower. Now we're walking faster again. I don't know why.
Ellen here.
Now, as I said, the difference between casual and speedrunning. This, in my opinion, is the most difficult to speedrun level, because we're relying on the light being red as a visual indicator. So every single lamp needs to be very accurately placed, and very quickly placed. Yeah, everything done properly.
It's been weeks since Virgil and James
Okay.
handled Arthur. And still
I think I took that a bit carefully, but that's
I
fine.
don't care what Virgil says.
Yes, it is as tense as you think it is.
Are clearly not
Not easy.
Ellen here. Virgil has tightened the security into Arthur's
Now this
office,
is easy.
but I managed to get in. I'm having a closer look at his overload schematics, and his experiment could really multiply the core's output by several magnitudes. Makes sense why Virgil's still tinkering with it. Greedy old man.
I don't think I mentioned this too many times, but the receiver on the wall is just a big switch activated by light. And now I can actually just show that off. The beam of light in the middle activates the switch, which is a very nice puzzle mechanic.
I've gone through Arthur's theory.
Not just shining on it directly with a lamp.
A perpetual motion machine. It's the shadows. The crystals draw
And the story in this game is that now the science isn't quite as ethical as people thought it was. How you could have seen that coming, I wonder.
Shadows will not only decay us, they will devour us.
And yeah, 34 is a big cut. Yeah, 34 and 35 are both big cutscenes.
I need to finish his work.
Also, I can't move now. I'm holding W, nothing's happening.
Get out of there. That's Arthur's...
Now I can move.
Never mind. It's not safe. Hold on.
Bazinga.
I'll open the nearest exit door for you. Do not touch anything.
This is quite a good place to mention. I did not mention it earlier in the game, but this game does not have flashing lights. I need to word this carefully. The game is between light and contrast, between light and dark, the contrast between light and dark. And if anything goes wrong, like what's happening now and what I'm ignoring right now, it's a fade to white. It's not bright flashing. So if you are sensitive to light, you can still play this game, which I do really like. Could have mentioned that earlier, but I'm just tired. Now the shadow anomalies are going away, but the shadows are still fine. Shadows are still there, so we can technically stand in shadow for about 20 seconds. Because now everything is dull, in shadow obviously, but the shadow anomalies are bright and shiny. That's the only part of the game where you can actually stand in shadows. So there. 35 is the second portal Easter egg into the game. Yeah, there. It's a lot easier to see than the Still Alive radio. Walk backwards, connect there. And we have a turret and a cube. There we go.
Hallucinations. Keep that in mind. Now, you must do as I say. We need to fix the shadow anomaly.
This level is... Ooh, just managed that. No, I do actually need it. I need you, I need to move you. Got to do this, did these in the wrong order. I need to get a lamp to the other side of the door, or get a crystal to the other side of the door, to keep that door open at all times. To form a circuit. There's a big wall in the way, obviously. So as I said before, in my opinion, the puzzles in this section of the game are really difficult. But speedrunning them, fine. As they say that, this level is not any difficult, it's just really physically large. There's a lot of running back and forth. It's more annoying than actually interesting. Stand one there, and stand one there. Because we cannot jump while holding lamps, we need to do that. Place that, we did pre-place that lamp. In order to now actually go there properly. There we go. Move the big crystal backwards and forwards. Now do a big U shape with the lamp we just placed 10 seconds ago to this one. So we need to not think with portals, think with crystals, moving that side to side. Like. Yep. Now we're at the end of the level. And 36, yeah, 37 is the last puzzle of the map of the game. 38 is the last actual level of the game. Light matters as truth shines on shadowy Arthur. More stairs need to jump on. It's annoying more than anything else. 37, the last puzzle of the game. It is actually quite a nerve-wracking one because of the trick I need to do later on in just a couple of seconds. First half is actually not that bad. Now I need to place this lamp so that I need to break the beam while standing on these moving platforms, which is really precise. It is quite precise, I should say. So I need to place the lamp so that I can just barely activate that receiver. But then I need to have enough space so that I can disconnect the receiver to walk over it again. It is quite nerve-wracking because it is quite precise. Break the beam and walk sideways. Always nervous whenever I need to do that. 1, 2... This is a lot easier, I know. We're coming to 38, which is... Now we're finished 37, going into 38, the last level of the game, and by far and away the longest. My gold split on live split is 11 minutes and 38 seconds. For one single split. Yes, because this level is effectively oh, there's the cat again. Because this level is an escape sequence. And we're actually going to destroy the facility that we're in right now. There is actually an achievement. No, I'm going to tell this after this lift. I'm going to tell you this. I believe this is the final time we have time for anything you want to say, Wolf. Well, I have something to drink.
disappoint me, Jane.
Just a reminder to donate towards the dogs. We are helping out Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center in Norfolk, Virginia.
Wait,
And they, as well as everyone here at the staff of No Glitches Allowed, would really appreciate the help. Thank you so much.
remember who I am.
Yeah, this lift is really long. It's just boring.
I see that now. In that case, we have...
Yeah.
Let's point out some of the specific incentives. One of the upcoming runs is Sticky Business, choose Pride Flag. We got non-binary, asexual, lesbian, gay, and intersex. Currently, asexual is winning with $20. M-Chan's game is also choosing which speedrun M-Chan does, New Super Luigi U or New Super Mario Bros. 2. Currently, New Super Luigi U is winning with $10. That could be a close competition with just a little bit of donation. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, true any percent. We are $5 away from reaching that. If anyone wants to see that, it's just an easy push. We also have Payday 3 final level upgrade to Overkill, which is not so easy of a push. We need $50, but I believe we can do that. Let's make that happen, everybody. And remember, donate to Go Rescue.
Crystals stable. Energy levels stable, although
Actually,
slightly
well,
increased.
as Virgil just said before I flicked that lever, he told us to wait here.
However,
There's actually an achievement for waiting here. You need to wait in this room for 21 minutes, and then you get an achievement.
But since I now know what
I'm not making that
I
up.
will fix the shadow anomalies. Now, I do not trust you around the core.
Yeah,
so
the
you're
first like
staying in
3
that
minutes
room.
of this
You're
11-minute
hungry? Well, the human body
level
can survive
is just
21 days
cutscene.
without food. And as for
Very
water,
boring.
I can
And also,
turn
I
on
just
the
finished my
sprinklers.
water now. I don't have time to go and fill it again. Video games. There we go. I need to stand in there to activate the trigger. I need to stand next to that door in order to activate this dialogue. Because of reasons.
I tried to do it myself, but the core is surrounded by guards.
So now the core, that big crystal thingy, is actually self-sufficient. It's exceeding 100% power, so it can power itself, even though this lever is flicked in the off position.
First off, you need to react.
Story-wise, what we're going to do is now overload the crystal by like doing a feedback loop, if you've ever heard of that before. So giving that crystal too much power and having it go explodey,
Surrounding the core.
which is bad. Last time I checked.
Overloading it sounds dangerous, but trust me.
Yes, I'm trusting you. I also want you to be quiet, so I can play the game. There we go. Now we can play games at 3 minutes and 14 seconds into the level. Hooray. From now on, there's basically no time to do anything because it's just the escape sequence.
Why are the cameras? Oh, never mind. I'm sick of looking for journalistic briefs anyway.
Oh yeah, now we're overloading it, which is something I was ignoring because I'm looking at the door.
Article about it. I have work to do.
Here you go. This is entirely just platforming. There's no lamps in this section. If I could do this section without dying, I'd be happy. It's relatively precise. Heck! Relatively precise, is what I meant to say. Especially if you're trying to do things quickly. It's annoying that these giant fan blades move slower than your running speed. Now, these lamps are cycle-based, but even if I did not die just now, I would still have to wait for that cycle. So technically, that's not that big a deal. Also, the game also saves all the time, so it's not really that big a deal. If you die anyway. This lamp does stay on, even though the others all turn off when you get close to them. That took me a while to figure out casually. But cat again. And a big part of this escape sequence is the giant moving platforms I was on earlier. Most of this is fairly easy because you're just walking around. Some of it can be a bit more difficult. If you try... Like, the difficult bit is really asking yourself, do I have enough time to get the earlier cycle or should I wait? The answer is usually you should wait, but very rarely you can actually save a couple of seconds by getting an earlier cycle. That's mostly in the second section where the moving platforms are more used. I don't know why that pair of sunglasses are there, it just is. Also, I don't know what these pistons do, but they are very science. Look at all the science they're doing with their moving. This is the first, or technically this is the second, because what we just did earlier was the first lever. Second out of 4. We have one more lever, like that, and the very final lever is the end of the game. In about 5 minutes. With dialogue as well.
No! How did you?
There we go. The music in this game genuinely is really good.
I am not letting you destroy
Which I'm just constantly talking over, but I really like it. You see, that is a section where I could have technically gone an earlier cycle, but I would have probably missed and fallen into the goo. Or shadows, whatever. That's the kind of thing you need to think about when playing this section of the game.
I will feed you to the shadows. You're not a journalist.
Most of this is fairly easy if you take your time, but I'm not taking my time, so it's a bit more difficult than you may imagine.
Crystals? Stealing data from our servers? I know what you are.
Now the game this part, the game intends you to go left, but then the game does a bamboozle, and that's revenge for me using the word bamboozle. But the game, I'm going to say it again. The game does you a bamboozle, and there's a bridge that collapses, so you need to go around again. So it's just quicker to first go right instead of going left and then all the way around again.
Is your loyalty that
I'm gonna say the word again to see what the game will throw at me,
He tried to overload the
because I think it's funny.
What if he caused the shadow anomalies?
Ba-ba.
And all of that complaining? I can't control the shadows. Well, I can't control the shadows, and that's because of him. It's all because of Arthur.
Yeah, Virgil is angry at us and also other characters. I'm not really paying attention. Thinking about cats, mostly. Music is pretty good, as I've said before. Now we're close to the third lever, so we're almost near the end.
We won't just lose cities, we'll lose our future.
This is lever number 3. The final 4th lever is going to be the end of the game.
To a hole so dark, even photon crystals won't be
This door was open before, but it closes once we flick that lever, which is a bit odd. Now we're actually gonna meet the core, which is that thing. Yeah, that drops a bit too early for it to be a dramatic reveal.
Mark my words, spy.
Anyway.
Before this is over, my shadows will disintegrate you atom by atom. James, what took you so long? What? Who is this? In the facility? When did he leave? James! Where are you, James?
This part of the game is yellow. I don't know why. I like it.
Get down there and stop this now!
And that's the end of the yellow section. I enjoyed that yellow section.
Crusade is over. James will find you. He will crush
Okay, now we're actually very close to the end of the game, because this escape sequence is going to use almost exclusively these giant platforms,
you. No!
which are really fun to ride on, honestly.
You will beg for my shadow.
Again, I could have probably gotten that cycle, but I'm going to wait for this one just in case. Sometimes it's a bit annoying and I could bang my head on this railing at the very top. Just want to be safe. Oh, one thing you're definitely not going to notice is almost all the time when I jump, I hold down the jump button.
Wherever
Because
you
the jump
are,
button is also the same with the grab.
This is far
So if I just happen to jump a few frames too early, I can still grab on a ledge if I'm constantly holding that button down. That's another moment where I could have probably gotten the cycle. Music is very good though. I have nothing else to talk about. No! I tried to save myself. It didn't work. There we go. I'm gonna say it, that's never happened before. There we go, I did it. And here we have the very final platform ride of the game. Time is in about a minute.
You're trapped.
This is also the only one that has invisible walls around it. Which makes sense because it's dramatic story climax thingy, I'm just gonna ignore that.
James, you made it. You're just in time.
Oh yeah, that is the second depiction of a human character in the game. Was that 3 seconds you probably missed. There we go. That is Lightmatter, that's the game. Genuinely, it's a really good game to play casually, and also a really good game to play speedrun. Unfortunately, I did die a load of times, but that was just my mistake because I didn't really practice all that much last week. Skill issue, honestly. Time is going to be in about 10 seconds once I flick this final lever, and walking extra slow for dramatic effect. You can find me. Actually, no, I'm going to do the outro later. Time is coming up soon. So dramatic, so tense. 3, 2, 1, time. Hey. Pause the game. That's in-game time, so it was about, on live split, that's 54, 44. Not bad, considering I died so many times.
Yeah, that was a fun run.
Nice. Pretty good. If I were to unpause this now, there's going to be a big cutscene afterwards, which what I call cutscene and credits afterwards. I'm just going to pause here to ignore that. As I said before, that is the game. Genuinely really good game to play casually. You can find me on Twitter, I'm going to call it that, I will fight you. Reddit as well, and also my YouTube channel. I'm Infrabread on all of those, and on Twitch I'm infra_bread. So, there we go. If you want to follow me, do that. I think now I need to get set up for the other game I'm doing. It's going to be significantly shorter.
And while you're setting up for that, I just want to say thank you to, I believe it was Lordly Hour, for helping us reach the donation incentive for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, True Any Percent. Thank you for the $10 donation. There is $5 left over after that could go towards another incentive if you want. If so, mention that to one of the staff. You could split the donation money to fulfill multiple incentives if you please.